Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes is releasing on January 30th, and it is one of the coolest sets that we have coming out. It is a major reprint set that has a ton of playable cards that are being put into reprints for you to buy at easier prices. Now, the caveat is there's also a couple of cool playable cards. The Ascended Heroes set is going to be made up of both Mega Dream as well as the 100 deck start, whatever 100 start deck from Japan. And so far, Mega Dream has come out in Japan. I don't know if you guys have seen some of those beautiful alt arts, those new Mega arts with the little comic book text on them. They look absolutely gorgeous. Going to be picking up a few of those for my collection as well, coming up here soon. But in the US, we've got a little bit of time. January 30th, it's going to be coming out. So I'm going to take a look at some of the cards from this set today. We're going to talk about how broken they are, or if they're duds or not, like what I think about their playability. And we're just going to kind of give you guys a little bit of a primer on the Ascended Heroes set. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And my name is Rahul Reddy. Let's jump right into it. So, usually with these reprint sets, this has 227 cards, but a lot of them are going to be just like stuff we've already seen. Pheasantipede, some of those EXs like Mewtwo, Mega Lucario. Like, it's crazy that the Mega Pokemon just came out like 2 sets ago, and they're already getting reprints in this little mini set. But I guess it's good for the longevity of the game if there's like a reprint set like this every single year, which makes things incredibly affordable for players. But they will release some of these prettier arts and whatever to keep the collectors satisfied. So if you guys are collectors, that is something you guys can check out. I do have a TCG player link, by the way. I don't want to shell it too much, but it is in the description down below. All you have to do is click on that link and buy whatever cards you want. At the time of watching this, if you guys are watching it on release day, there's a 10% back, so you guys can pick up 10% back on your purchases. I picked up a couple cards for my collection as well, just because I thought, it's the perfect time to get a little bit of cash back before the holiday spending gets crazy. So let's take a look at some of these cards. We have this Silcoon here with Cascading Cocoon, and I've usually like with an ability like this, because it says I can basically just get a Silcoon or a Cascoon and put it onto your bench. When I evolve this, so I can basically like cheat out a bunch of Dustoxes or Beautiflies. But in this situation, the Beautifly is not super good. It reveals their hand and 80 times the number of energy you find there. Right now, energy isn't super big of a commodity in people's decks, so you can't really like abuse this a ton. And then this Dustox isn't either that great either, because you can flip a coin and return an energy to your opponent's hand. So basically, you're saying like I'm gonna Rustling Wind a bunch of energies back to your hand, then I'm gonna pop you with this Beautifly. So we're putting this elaborate stage 2 combination together. It's gonna revolve around evolving into Silcoon to put Cascoon onto your bench, so you don't have to play. Like, I mean, basically, you're gonna have to use Cascading Cocoons to put Cascoon into play and keep doing this over and over again. It would be a lot cooler if Cascoon also had Silcoon's ability, so you can basically just like either or can cheat out the other one. But this is like very mediocre. Entei is a new fire type attacker that you could use as a one prizer, but this is pretty bad. The condition is 4 fire type Pokemon. It does 120 at max, which is not ideal. The new Ho is just significantly better. We have this new one with Incandescent Body, 80 HP. If this Pokemon's in your active, takes damage if they're not burned. Fine. And this came up, does nothing fine. It's like fine. Also like 110. Like if they're not burned, does nothing. So it's like a one prizer in the Mega Camera up to like Volcarona deck, I guess, if you want to put that together. Now, the card that I'm most excited about here is this Snorunt that has 70 HP. Now, Snorunts have had 60 HP or less for quite a long time, so they've been very easy pickings for Dragapult, for Monkey Dories. They're just very easy to take off the board, but this guy's got 70. So your Frostlass deck just got a little bit better, and you don't even like know how much like this is gonna help you if you're a big Frostlass Monkey Dory enjoyer. Now, this card does a lot of damage. Mega Frostlass EX has 310 HP. It's one of my. I really, really like this card. I think this card's going to be absolutely bonkers after rotation. So not just yet, but in a little bit. But it does 50 times the number of cards in your opponent's hand for 1 water. So you could be playing this lock deck with like Yveltal, with Maractus, just play the most stock standard like Dark Frostlass package, and then slam this Mega Frostlass into play, use Rebellion, absolutely destroy your opponent's big attacker that they've spent turns building up, and then you can just win the game. Very cool card. Now, N got a little bit more support with N's Vanillite. Let's get 2 basic Pokemon. We have N's Vanillish that has Sheer Cold and does 60, and then we have N's Vanillux that does Layered Snow to place damage counters your opponent's Pokemon. Their damage is doubled, which is kind of cool for any damage stacking deck, but it is a stage 2, so it's like, I don't know, man. It's really hard to get this like whole package up and running and get this going. It's just very difficult. Then we have a new Frostmoth as well. If this Pokemon's in the active, both players draw a card, so you basically are forcing your opponent to draw a card, which then also couples very well with the Mega Frostlass. Obviously, I think this card is not that good because you don't want to really give your opponents free cards, especially on a stage 1 that has to be in the active and has to retreat. So you have to commit like an air balloon to this pretty much minimum to move it. We have a Glastrier as well here that does 130 for Frost Typhoon and 2020, which is like not super good on a one prize attacker. We have Mega Electros here that's basically making its debut to help out these electric decks. Actually very good in Dragonite. Actually probably very, very good in like the electric type decks. So you can go late game Iono, Disaster Shock for 190, paralyze something, and in the meantime, your board is still getting built up because you have electrics. You have these electrics you've been powering up the whole time, and you have Split Bomb to close out the game. So you can Disaster Shock, paralyze, close out the game with an attack in the end of the game with an Iron Hands or something like that. We have a new Heliolisk as well. If you played Canary from your hand this turn, you may use his ability to check for 2 basic lightning attachment to this Pokemon. It's not any of your Pokemon, which kind of sucks because this guy's just a coin flip for each coin for energy attached. So it's like very mediocre. But if it was any of your Pokemon, I feel like that'd be a lot better because you could Canary out a Lightning Engine and then Heliolisk to that Pokemon and power it all up in one turn. We have Tapu Koko. If you use this for stack, discard dry your hand. Like it's fine. It's not for your treat. Other Kokos are for your treat. This guy's just slow apparently. Rockets Execute and Rockets Executor, so 2 more Rockets cards added to the package. Flip 3 coins with their all heads, knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon. Not good enough for the Rockets package, and then Double Edge does 150 to itself. So you could play all one prize or Rockets package with Executor and Spidops, but that's just so many slots you're dedicating. You have a Mischievous that has Ascension, so you can now evolve this into Mismagius EX as well, which just came out in the Phantasmal Flames set, so that you can basically just go into Mismagius as soon as possible if you want to. So that's a little bit of a buff to the Mismagius deck down the line. There's another Mismagius here as well that is 60, and if your opponent's active with a special condition, do 60 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which is actually like not an insignificant amount of damage, especially if you can like do something like Confusion with like the Bramblegast or whatever early on, and then you can just basically like pop your opponent's board pretty aggressively. You have Rotom to get Rotocall to put a bunch of Rotoms on your bench, and then does 30 times each tool, so nothing too crazy here. And then we have Hop getting a new Pokemon as well, partner Pokemon Phantom and Trevenant. I actually didn't watch this part of the anime, so I actually don't know why Hop has a Trevenant. Just cool, dude. You have 30 plus 100 for Revenge, basically Retaliate, which is like kind of a not insignificant amount of damage. But then the corner attack, the second attack, is actually like nothing to write home about. Is a 90 damage corner, but a lot of the time we're not trying to like retreat lock until the damage is there to win the game. We're just trying to retreat lock to stop our opponent from achieving their win conditions while we build up our board. This expedites it's like counterintuitive for corner locking. This card's pretty cool because Gardevoir gets a little bit of a boost once again. I know you guys are thinking, why does Gardevoir keep getting a boost? I can't wait for this damn card to rotate in April. Don't worry, guys. We're almost there. Just a couple more months. I need you to sit down, sit tight, and we're just around the corner. You get the Phantom Beat attack that discards all energy attached to this Pokemon, plays 12 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So basically, it's like a pseudo Cresselia where you can like power this up with triple energy, like with the Phantom Beat, move 6 damage off with Monkey Dories, and then Phantom Beat a different thing. So you could be like move 6 to Scream Tail that they attacked with, move 6 to like a different Pokemon, and then just 12 damage, pop it. So you can go through like a Charmed Monkey Dory even, which is like kind of cool that this can do that. Rocket gets another Pokemon here in Diglett. You can flip a coin so you get Tails, discard the top card of your opponent's deck, kind of funny. And then you have Dugtrio as well. Whenever your opponent's Pokemon moves from the bench, they're active to bench, put 2 damage counters on the Pokemon. So Sinkhole can like kind of set up for some extra damage numbers, but it's not super good because the attack is pretty bad. We have Meditite and Medicham. If you have exactly 7 cards in your tank, you do a hand, you do 150 damage. It's terrible. Like, it's just so niche and like so precise. We have a Mega Haluucha here coming in too, so another new Mega. 250 HP basic Pokemon, strong body. This Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack, flip a coin. If heads, this Pokemon's not knocked out and has 10 HP left. So you can technically survive forever, I guess. And then you have Somersault Dive doing 100 plus 140 and discard a Stadium. So you're doing 260. That damage is super low for a very steep attack cost. And the strong body ability is not that good, actually. Like, if you just flip Tails, you give up 3 prize cards on this guy. We have a big Colossal line, which is just very mediocre. I feel like there hasn't been a good Colossal. I don't know if I might be mistaken. I feel like this card has just been like, this Pokemon has just gotten the short end of the stick in terms of Pokemon. Another Okidogi. This guy is raring to go, it looks like. 80 plus 60 for each prize card your opponent takes during their last turn with Settle the Score. Could be a decent one prize attacker in a fighting type deck that can accelerate the fighting energy all in one turn. Then we have Team Rocket's Honchkrow. We already have the Murkrow. This says Rocket's Feather 60 times the number of supporter cards with Rocket in your hand that you discard. So it's a very niche cleanup attack that can actually one-shot Gardevoir, which is kind of cool because you can play like Spidops Honchkrow with like maybe like 1 or 2 Mewtwo's and play like the Psychic Patch. And now you can actually like attack with Rocket's Feathers all at once because like mid to late game, you're going to have a ton of like Rocket supporters just sitting in your hand and not really much to do with it, like the Protons and stuff you've been amassing. So you can just do one big Hail Mary attack, and then your Honchkrow gets pretty much useless for the rest of the game. So you have one big like cleanup attack you can do with the Honchkrow and the Murkrow, which I think is pretty cool. So Rocket's maybe playable. I'm going to try, but I don't think it's that playable. We have a Galarian Obstagoon that does 70 times the number of damage counters on your opponent's active. That's not super good on stage 2. Then we have a Mega Scrafty here, a very cool Stage 1 330 big beefy dark type Pokemon, Counter Cowl. This Pokemon's in the active. When it takes damage from an opponent attack, does 5 damage counters back, so it's quite a bit actually. Then you random, and then Outlaw Leg is actually a really cool attack. You choose a random card from your opponent's hand, discard it, so like Absol but worse. But then you also discard the top card. So with Outlaw Leg, you're actually getting value for 2 things. So if you play like Scrafty plus like Sharpedo, for example, Scrafty, Sharpedo, like Scrafty, Sharpedo, Gengar, Toxicity, that's actually way too many Pokemon in one deck. But if you can somehow make that work, you have Outlaw Leg to basically just like get your opponent in the late game like super hard with their resources, and I think that's like really funny. It's a really funny concept to me. Petrant, a new Petrant coming out here at 80 HP. If it's knocked out by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, search for a card, put it in your hand. That's actually pretty cool. But Mochi Rush just doing 20 and a 50 is like such a weak attack. Like if it had the corner or something like that, it would be a way better card for Dark type Pokemon. We have a King Gambit here that does attacks used by the Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponents active for each prize card they've taken. So 180 plus 30 for each metal. So you could use this in like a metal type deck probably, but it is a stage 2, so it's very steep to get into play. Now the new attacker of choice here that's really cool actually here is this Dragonair, not attacker, but like a line. So stage 1's being kind of broken or powerful has become a theme kind of in Pokemon. If the stage 1 is broken, stage 2 kind of gets permission to just be a big beater. And so Dragonair has evolutionary guidance. If you have an energy attached to it, search deck from evolution Pokemon, reveal, put it into your hand. So you're playing Dragonite Electric, for example, as a deck. Your Dragonair searches out your electrics, or your Dragonite can search out a Dragonair, or Dragonair can search out a Dragonair, which can search out an electric, and you can just like keep this chain going. So like by like turn 3, you have just an infinite loop of like all your evolutions that you don't have to search out. You can tutor these out pretty easily, so it's kind of awesome. The Mega Dragonite's 370 HP, so very, very beefy, no weakness, no resistance, super big to retreat. But once you're in your turn, you can keep switching this, your active with your bench. So you can keep sky transporting Pokemon into the active. So you can use Ryuno Glide after like you have a balloon or something on the board for 330, which is such a chunky amount of damage that you can actually one-shot a lot of things in format, except for some of the megas, which then you can play some damage modifiers to get to that number if you need to. So I actually really like this deck. There's a new Rayquaza as well, but this is not really that good. It has like a 20 plus 90 if it came into the active this turn. And then you have an N Zekrom, which actually is a big, like just an insane buff for N, by the way. Like this card just did not need to be printed for N because Zoroark has already been kind of dominating the format. And they were like, hey guys, you remember how like this Zekrom or this Reshiram could only do 170 damage? Surprise, guys, we can now do 250. So now this Reshiram can, or not Reshiram, the Zoroark can actually like one-shot a majority of the Pokemon that are in the game with like Mochi combos and like poison. So now we're doing 300 with Rampaging Thunder, Mochi, poison, or we can even have, like play Max Belt now as the ace spec. And we can go Max Belt, Mochi, or we can go Max Belt, like pop something for like 300 instantly and just like get really far ahead. And the Zekrom just gives you a ton. You still have to play Reshiram because I think Outrage is so good, but you also now get Shred. So you can Shred through Cornerstone very slowly, doing 70 at a time. But let's 70 plus Mochi is 110 and poison. Do it again, go again. You know, like it's not like we can run out of Zoroarks because we have the Zekroms, you know? So the deck just got like a very, very, very powerful tool. So if you guys haven't played Zoroark yet, it's like a great time, I guess, like to commit to playing Zoroark. We have Noivern as well, which just has a tool 70 plus 70 and agility, so nothing crazy here. Light Ball is a little bit of a buff to Joltik Box because Pikachu was not a great endgame attacker, only being able to do 300, but now you can just like slap on a bunch of energies and be like, hey, I've got a Pikachu and this Light Ball is going to absolutely body you with 350 at some point in time. You just have to be ready for it. So Dragapult can go down, Zard can go down, Guardy can go down, like these just big beaters at the end of the game that your Pikachu couldn't actually take care of. So you had to like find a boss or something at the end. This Light Ball can actually end the game for you if you need it to be like an Arven into Light Ball, basically. Thick Scales is just reducing for very specific types for Dragon types, which is like so niche. Like I don't like why not just make it Dragon types just take 30 less or something? But this is just like so niche for these 4 types because this card is never going to see play. Canary getting 4 Lightning type Pokemon is kind of cool because you can discard a card as well. I don't think you ever need 4 Lightning type Pokemon right now, but post rotation when Miraidon is gone, this card could actually be really good if you want to play some sort of Lightning package. But right now it's just not good. Then we have Anthea and Concordia. This card is really funny. I'm going to put out a video about this later in the week because I think it's like a really funny deck to inspect. Where you need Enzra, Manatan, Zoroark EX, Reshiram, Zekrom, Klinkling, and Vanillix. So stage 1, 2 basics, a stage 2, and a stage 2. So 2 stage 1s, 2 basics, 2 stage 2s. And if you take a knockout this turn on your opponent's active, you take 3 extra prize cards using your Ends Pokemon. So it's not just like I have an Exodia combo, I win the game. It's I have to play a regular game of Pokemon, get this entire combo up and running, and then knock out your active to take 3 extra prize cards. Like, how convoluted is this? Like, come on, man. Anyway, Night Mine, also pretty cool. Attacks used by each Terra Pokemon cost a colorless more. So this can become really good for a Dragon Ball counter. It can be really good for Terra Box counter. It can be really good for Zard counter right now. So you can basically just put a lot of pressure on by using Night Mine and putting decks that can't really accelerate a ton of energy in one turn, and a little bit of an awkward spot with an Iono towards the end of the game. So really cool set. Really excited to see what comes out of Mega Dream and the 100 deck, Star 100 deck. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little analysis, and we'll come back and do some more competitive stuff in the future. Let me know what you're most excited for in the comments down below.